Hi everyone, it's Angel 111 Mima. I have a quick message. I think earlier I posted 2 videos but I didn't show my face. I didn't sit like this because I was doing cleaning and then Bilal came in and brought these papers. I said this is the third time they sent me these papers again. I've posted the video and we explained about it. I have a message and yesterday I aired out something very important and I really do apologize if it has caused any uproar. Very open-minded and my guides gave me that information, but as I say, everything goes with alignment. I don't share everything immediately until when the planets are aligned. You will understand why today I spoke about that burning topic of the church. You all know I am very open and free to talk about spirituality because so long as it's Abrahamic religion, it's fine. God is one, and what is here is what matters, not what is here. It's what is here inside. Your faith is inside. What is outside is just showcases what is inside. You glow out on your face. Maybe that's how God is seeing you. It depends. You can also be, maybe you're just glowing, but inside you're dark. So it depends. But don't judge me at all. And always I say, don't judge a book by its cover. You never know. The one you always overlook might have some information that is going to liberate you. Why did I choose, or why was I told to give that information yesterday? And I quoted Torah about the book of Genesis and verses also from Bible and the Quran. And if you look at them, they have the same concept. Same concept. It's just a differentiated words. Arabic in Quran, but I've put the translation too. And I've put the English, I didn't put the Hebrew words. Just the English version of Genesis, okay? And the part of the parashat in here. And one thing, I don't want to raise like a big debate, but this is something I was told. That's why I'm even hesitating to give this message. And I didn't want to come to camera even and say it openly. I preferred to put it down because I was really scared. I even asked my guides, like, are you sure you want me to give this message out? Because I know it's gonna give me, there will be a backlash. Because you all know how I was harshly judged because of tarot by the Muslim community. The same people I helped, just because the reading did not go as their wish, I was like really lashed by few people, but they're like religious and they really did me dirty, and it really broke my heart. I was in shock. I didn't expect it from them, but yeah, you know, it's always like that. You never know who is clapping for you, or you never know who is just like warming up the hands to slap you. So I did get that from my own Muslim community, and that's why I'm really like keeping myself at bay, because I don't want to be judged. They've judged me with so many shit, false accusation, and that's the reason. Sometimes when you feel like, even in Islam, you're being told, when something happens, you have 3 options. First, you just speak about it, like, I don't like this thing, please leave me. Or you can just tell that person, like a warning, look, and not in a bad way, in a way that this person will understand you. If they don't, then you are told they can do like a symbolic beating. That was just a sign. Symbolic beating doesn't mean you beat somebody. Symbolic beating. That is why most people also make mistakes when it comes to this hadith. Symbolic beating. How can you beat somebody? Just a small sanction at home. For example, if it's a child and they don't listen, okay, you're not going to get your snack. That's a symbolic beating. Why? Because you're depriving them what they want, so you've beat them. But we don't mean physical beating. That's where most of also people mistake that. And the third is you are told, just stay away. If you know now this is getting way too far and you can't take it, then you are allowed to stay away and not hate, but dislike that action and just move away. And I tried that. I tried to explain myself first. Secondly, I tried to sabotage them, but it went too far. And the third reason, I decided, okay, then ma salama. I don't think I fit here anymore in this community, because I'm out here helping people and people were judging me so harshly. And I'm just using the same tools like, Quran and everything. I don't do spells or what. I have skills here to do those shits, but I keep myself because on the light side. And my guides are the one like on my head here. If you make a blunder or if you do anything to manipulate somebody, you're gonna pay for it, because you're not supposed to abuse your gifts. So I always keep it 100. And the karma for any healer, any person, that's what I'm saying, these jobs are very karmic, or these gifts are very karmic. Because if you manipulate them, they come back and bite you 10 times fold. So this is very dangerous. It's really bad. So you have to be very careful, especially when you're handling people and they're difficult or from different backgrounds, different races. You don't understand one another. Like right now, I'm just recording. I don't know how many people are viewing it or who is airing my work. Does it even reach the right people, or is it being manipulated? Because people used to take my videos, redo them, and pretend like it is them talking, just to sabotage my spiritual path, which is really unfair. And I came here today. Main reason why I came is not about to give you the message from the full moon. It's the new moon. The main reason, there is something very, very significant which has happened long time ago in the ancient times. And that's the reason. Now you'll understand why I have the code of 999 and why I'm saying that this is my last reincarnation. And on top of that, why do I get this information which are extremely old and you can't find them anywhere? It's because I'm in the final leg. We were the people who lived for, our souls have been living for a very long time, very long time. And reincarnated in different nations, different religions, even in the Atlantis. So reincarnated even as an animal, like a fish in the water, and a human, transformed back, and then you come down, you come as a starseed, you go back, you come as an earth angel. Right now, that is the last stage, and then that's it, I'll be finished. And after that, now I don't know. My next cycle will be in the other world, not here. I know people will not believe it, but I know better, because they tell me everything. I even told people I know how my death will occur. They've shown me. So that's why I'm not, they've tested me many times. I've tested death and I come back, tested death and I've come back. But they've shown me the right time it will come. This is how you're going to go. When you see this, just know, yeah, then your journey is over. But these ones were just like, hey, we're just teasing you. And, like strengthening your muscle. I'm like, yeah, okay. So, about the question, what is the original? I'm going to discuss it now in depth. But I'm not going to talk much because there is some sensitive information I can't share here in public, please. I wish I had like someone I could just talk like one on one, you know, like either a religious leader or somebody who could just understand my messages. I used to do that. I used to write messages for Rabbi Manis Friedman. We've come a long way because I used to get the download and he will get his own antennas and I will pass him the message and he will just go like, because for example, when we started, I remember the first message I got, I didn't even know him. And Jit Shalom was like, you're going to meet a man with a beard. He looks somehow like me, and trust me, how Jit Shalom comes to me is just almost similar to Rabbi Manis Friedman. White beard, bright face, and he always comes with a very nice white outfit, like a robe. And he told me, you're going to meet a man who looks almost similar like me, and say the description. The man will appear. Someone will help you, and this man will appear. Once this man appear, you're going to give him this message. And I was given a message. Give him this message. He will decode a very ancient information that will open you. Once you have that, this is like now the floodgates. Everything will start come. So I did say that, and yes, somebody helped me. And boom, out of nowhere, he appeared in my life as a mentor. The moment I gave him that message, guess what happened? That was when Tanya came again here. It was the old ancient teachings. Hasidic in Kabbalah, but it's a very old ancient teachings in Judaism. And he came and we had so many sessions, which were here uploaded. And every time I get a message, I will just be given like a symbol, candle burning and this and that. And then a whole video comes from him with information about candle. If you can check, just check Tanya. It has everything. The journey, it starts with the journey of the soul. No, it starts with not the journey of the soul. That's a different video. It starts with something, how to understand your soul. You pick it from there and then it decodes the whole, it's like an anatomy. I will post one video and then maybe you can follow the link and you can get all the videos before. So I used to have him, and then in between, somebody got so jealous because I was getting a lot of ancient Jewish knowledge, and the person who was helping me felt like I don't deserve it. So they started to cut me off, like sabotage my work and give it to other Jewish women so that they look better. And then comes the Hebrew out of nowhere, and they stole my work and they were pretending to be, me and my guide were very angry. And Jit Shalom was like, now, I'm not going to be giving you much to send out because the person you trusted to be the bridge is the one who is betraying you. And most of my work was taken by Scorpio, and that's how Scorpio really screwed me up. And we had that disconnection. But I was still getting my knowledge because it came intuitively to teach me. But that's how we got cut off. And it was sad because we were going deeper and deeper. We were decoding so many things. I was doing global prediction, Kabbalistic remedies, which were so ancient that you don't even use nothing but herbs or simple things, and we could do. And that's why they tried to create this clone of mine and giving her so much information, and people were misled thinking it was her. But it's okay. That's just the tip of the iceberg. What I have now is a lot, and I keep on getting more and more. That's why what frustrates me is I have so much to share. There is so much to give, but I'm so suffocated and sabotaged that I'm also feeling like I'm getting like anxiety, and like sometimes I feel I'm gonna get a mental breakdown here. Like, when you have there's a jamming on my head, like, because things are not flowing. When I get downloads, I have to flow them out. When I get downloads, I have to flow them out. I'm healing, I have to share out. I was doing like the my guides were teaching me. I used to wake up night. I was staying up all night with the frequencies and how to heal and everything. And I did say, even in the Rosh Hashanah reading, we are going to have this. Can you imagine? Even that they took it away from me. And my guides were giving me like, the next secret element, we are not sharing it with anybody. You have someone who wants to take everything that you have and they make it theirs. So let them play with those frequencies, but they don't know how far they can go. It will not work the way they want to, because that is not their spiritual path. That is not their work. It's yours. But these people don't know, they don't want to understand, and just let it be. Let it be. So what happened? I didn't do much. I just stopped. But now I'm learning without using my phone. They come at night, and if there is something with the frequency, they just show me, like a vision, and they work on me through my brain, and we do it. So apart from that, and so many things, so many old information, and especially at this period, I'm going to explain why now. Why not last year? Why not before? Why now? Why this new moon? Why did they tell me release it yesterday, and then today I make this video before 23rd? Why now? I'm going to give you all the reasons. So back in the days, during the time of the Dark Ages, we say, in the time of the Dark Ages, that was the time where religion was not like highly welcomed, because people had their own culture, primitive way and lifestyles. And Christianity, remember, Christianity came before Islam, because Nabi Isa, or the way you call him, Jesus, came first, and then the last prophet was Prophet Muhammad. So Christianity was already out there, traveling globally, and most of them were these crusades, the Night of Templars, and they were the ones who were like very vocal. And the church was one of the house of God, or the house that was highly respected more than the kingdom parliament, because they used to listen and follow instructions mostly from the priests, the popes. So they played a big role in the nation. Even when you watch all these medieval movies, watch them, like Night of the Templar, just watch it. You'll get a very good story, even including they were talking even about the Heilige Chalice, how do you call it? But they have very good information. You can find that. It's just like a series or a movie, but you will see how powerful the church was. Nothing could happen without the priest being consulted. The king could not make any bigger move or any invitation without the church being consulted. The house of God had so much power, people, because of the belief. But at the same time, remember, the whole nation, before Christianity, people were under paganism, the sacrificing of humans, and worshipping things which are out of the norm and all that. So Christianity, when it was introduced, most of the villages, and let's say the whole nation, people were already practicing witches and everything. So they had healers, but they also had the dark arts, shamanic kind of energy, or witches and wizards and warlocks, such people. And they were feared. They were very much feared in the society, because they will harm people to get their way. So when religion was introduced, now when the Crusades stepped in and started to slash these people, most of the people turned to, especially those who are intimidated by the witches, it's like, wow, we found a savior, so we are going to go to Christianity and save ourselves. But the witches now, some were rebellious, and that's why they all had a culture where some were beaten, stoned to death, or burnt alive to death because they were causing a lot of havoc. And mind you, back then, they had very strong magic. They were very well advanced. What you see now is nothing. Back then, there was strong magic, and I will tell you why it's most of this knowledge has disappeared. Like in the Quran, you know the story of Harut and Marut when it was in Babylon that just a page fell, and this is the kind of witchcraft we see. The angels had to come and take that book away because someone was doing a lot of magic. The people who were assigned to take the book, they promised that they will not harm others, but they did it. And when the angels came and grabbed it, one page fell. That page is what we see, the kind of witchcraft we have here. Just one, from the angel Harut and Marut. You can even Google what is Harut and Marut. It doesn't have to be a Muslim. You will find those are the angels who came and grabbed that book of witchcraft. Now, that knowledge was so powerful also. It was being used and passed by generations. Just like now we have the religion passing the books, holy books to us, even some communities, they still practice this paganism. But back then it was so strong, and it was from the lineage passed over, like children being taught and this and that. And they will intermarry. They will intermarry in order to exchange their demons and become more powerful. And even when the marriage takes place, they look at the grades of the witches. A low vibing witch cannot marry a high vibing witch. They have to go with stages. So until you reach, like, let's say you are stage 4 and they're stage 4, then you can click and marry. But if you are 2, no, you will have to work hard to reach 4 to get the daughter or, the son to come and marry you. That's how deep witchcraft was back then in the dark times. So when Christianity stepped in, it was a savior for those people who were being intimidated in the villages. The thing, what happened is people seek refuge through religion now, the church. So they gave themselves there and they served God. The witches who were stubborn, they were challenging the church. They were challenging the church. The ones who were cowards pretended like we are done, but in reality, they were practicing, but they were like devil's advocates for fear of execution. So they pretended we are also giving in. We will go there, but at the same time, we are secretly practicing. So that is what really happened, okay? And now, why is this whole story very significant in this new moon? Why now? Because 900, and I wrote it down here, it's 992 years ago. 992 years ago, a time like right now, these things were illuminated. It was a taboo in the village, but this was the time now, like the lights were shed now. We have to address these issues, and we have to bring an end of an era. Remember, this dark ages was since, I also jot it down because they tell me, and then I come and check it, confirm it from the internet, and I get the information. Believe me or not, I don't have any history books. I just jot everything here. What they write, they give me the info, I jot it down, or I just have it here, and then I go to the internet, confirm it, I find it. So 30 years ago, when the time of the crusade, that was the time of the crusade in the dark ages, 30, how do you call it, DC or I don't know, but 10-30 years ago. This incident, just like this new moon, happened whereby a big fight occurred between the hypocrites and the church, where they called the house of God. The reason was there was manipulation which was done by the group of witches to affect their leaders of the church in order to manipulate the religion so that they can also fit in. As I said, devil's advocate. And when the crusade and the Knight of Templars, let's say the crusades, the main ones, came to find out, they formed a very big army. Very big army. That's why I'm telling you, the churches were very strong, because these crusades had their own army. Apart from the country having an army, the kingdom has an army. The country also, the crusade had their own armies, whereby they will go out and fight. They will fight for the cause of God, and need be, they will also fight for their nation. But it was a strong men, people who were well trained, because they had to protect, one way or the other, the religion. Once they dominate and build a church, they will always have to protect the whole environment that is connected and linked to that place. So they formed a strong army and dedicated themselves. We are going to conquer these places and we will have to dominate. Remember, Aquarius is what? Rebellion. That's the new moon in Aquarius. And how does it relate to now? Remember, we had new moon in Capricorn at 1 degree, and I told you, you're going to be questioned. Your lineage is being questioned. 1 degree. It's the first house. I am what? What have I done? What have I done to my sisters, my lineage, and all that? And then the full moon, we were judged. Our maternal families from the tree of life connected to us stood up and judged on the judgment to rebel and ask for justice. Now here comes the new moon at 1 degree Aquarius, where rebellion is you and what is your belief, you and your breakthrough, you and your future. And you have to think. Remember, Aquarius is always thinking outside the box. Aquarian energy is always a free thinker. They think outside the box. The energy of the Aquarius. I'm not speaking about a person, we're speaking energetically. It's thinking outside the box. And it's rebellious. So they had to come up with a solution. What did they do? The Viking Crusades. This was the time they broke through and conquered Britain. Go and check it in history, you'll find it. They broke through the Viking Crusades and dominated Britain, because Britain was known to be dominated also by a lot of paganism. A lot of paganism. The witchcraft there was extremely strong, apart from the ancient France. But Britain was like out of control. So when the church was involved and informed, they formed a very strong alliance with other neighboring, like counties, let's say, teamed up and decided we are going to break through and conquer Britain. So this was done simultaneously, believe me or not. They had very strong communication skills, whereby they were everywhere, because they were missionaries traveling every corner of the world. So they decided we are conquering 2 places, because these are the places where paganism was at its peak. So they broke in to Britain and they conquered it because New Moon is rebellious. So they were the rebels and they went and they conquered Britain. The other place they went is as far as North America, where it was so native. People were more into shamanic things. And they went and they had a breakthrough and they started to spread the religion. So it was simultaneous, like two different places, North America and Britain. And they succeeded very well in conquering these places. This is the time, even the moon was, the reason why the moon is also near to the earth. This new moon will be the nearest to the earth, the nearest, from 992 years ago. And that's why we say this moon is like the moon of illumination, because whatever was eating, because they didn't know what is the confusion between our leaders in the churches. Something is off. The teachings are here, but there is something also someone is introducing more, because there was also accusation that they were not only worshiping God, but they had like skulls. They were worshiping skulls, like the Knight of Templars were accused of worshiping skulls. But in reality, it was those devil's advocates who were doing it. So what were they doing? Playing both sides, because they didn't want to be assassinated. So when this illumination came to light and it opened up everything, and they were like, okay, so we are being played, then we have to split now. A team to go North America, where native shamanic energy was extremely strong, because they had missionaries who go there and they were not succeeding. So they had to go as a very strong group. And as well as here in Europe, Britain was the notorious. It's like they could not break through. They didn't know where the dirty game was being played. It was played in Britain. Even though there was strong magic in Eastern Europe, even though there was strong also ancient knowledge in France. France carries a lot of old energy connected to church. But Britain, they were the most notorious and they were very skillful at hiding it. So this time, this is the time when everything was like, okay, this is the problem. Illumination. So what we have to be? Rebels. And what we have to do? Breakthrough. Because also Aquarian is the sign of innovation, new discoveries. You will find out science, more technology will be happening now, this upcoming energy. And I will speak more about the what is accompanying it. You'll be so surprised. It's beautiful energy. Whatever will happen now, it's like it's like back in the future. We are going to have vivid dreams. If you're a person who has reincarnated, you will even dream your past life. You will be seeing moments even when you are just like this, and they are very vivid. But you're like, this has happened. It's a deja vu, because these notions are coming down so fast. These are downloads from your past life. And the reason why the moon is going to be so near, 992. 992 years ago. If you are an old soul, your soul will travel all the way within this day, from today, all the way until 992 years ago. In between, whatever life you have lived, you will have one clear picture, be it in dreams, be it even watching a movie, or you might communicate with somebody and you will remember something very significant. It's from your past life. This is the secret of this new moon. So there's so many things. That's why I say I wish I could talk more, but there's some things which are secret, and here we have many people who are watching. And of course, in even talking about this, I know I will be judged. I know that for sure. I will be judged. Oh, she's talking about Christianity. No, but it's look at the bigger picture. We are looking at the bigger picture because I said yesterday, the biggest problem. Now we are coming to this problem because, as I said, the New Testament and the Old Testament of the Bible. The Old Testament was the original script. The New Testament was changed. The reason was for fear of execution. Most of the contents and narratives were changed to fit the community of the paganism so that they don't feel left out. So, those devil advocates could now merge in the church without being noticed, because these are people who took oath in their entire lineage. These are generations of Iblis, the people who were of Antichrist, because they were opposing the church, but they had no choice to join in to save themselves. Otherwise, they were going to be burned or executed. So when the notorious ones who were found, they were killed. Those who are really like affecting the churches and the churchgoers and everything, they were affected, and they were even banning like farms so that people don't have food and they should migrate to other towns and leave the church. That's how bad this whole scenario is. How my guides told me, and how it's like I was watching a movie, the way they were showing me this, the whole thing. And I even checked a map, and I did see it's so true. Do you know these crusades and the Knight of Templars traveled all the way until Jerusalem? All the way. The reason they went there, even because, Kabbalah has a lot of secret. That's why I'm saying Kabbalah there's a lot of secret. Some of the information there, because they had, Judaism, Kabbalah has very strong ancient knowledge. It can really destroy, and it can really like build if you know how to use it. So they found documentations, hides, the skins and hides where documentation was being made to store this knowledge. The Crusades destroyed them. Some were taken. I don't know. Other people said, I will say what my guides told me, and I will tell you what other people say. Other people said these things were burnt. They burnt those information. Just like the way later, we also know there was secret knowledge in the libraries of Alexandria where they also burnt. There were ancient knowledge, there was strong magic and everything. But they reached until Jerusalem. They went to all those places where sages were. The knowledge of the sages was restored, but some were taken away. They were taken away. When they took it away, these people were sleeping. So here it is. According to normal narrative, they were burnt. But my guides told me, when these people took these hides, there were scrolls. When they took these scrolls, the moment they were like on the wayfarer and they were sleeping, these things were taken away by the angels. They woke up, this information is gone. They didn't know who took it. They searched everyone. They could not find anything. This knowledge was taken back by the angels. And this is the reason it's now given intuitively, and you have to come from a specific lineage and you qualify like in this bloodline to get this knowledge, and you're being taught. And that's why, for example, I get it intuitively. How I checked when I did my, ancestry, I came to know because of Dut Shalom. Dut Shalom was a student of Metatron, who was Elijah. So I say, thank God, Alhamdulillah, At least I have that opportunity to get most of this ancient knowledge. They come and teach me and download it for me, even in my dreams, even when I'm just alone, just switch off my light and they come and we do these things. So they disappeared. That's the story. The real story is those scrolls disappeared. Even most of the information from the churches, which was back then diluted by these people, some were destroyed. But unfortunately, you know, back then there were no hard drives or anything. So knowledge was passed also through narrative. So whatever, for example, I'm an old woman, I've passed it to my children. How I'm saying it is not how my children will narrate it. And it kept on going and going. And by the time they came to New Testament now, that narrative of merging the paganism practices and the church, that is what was already out in the air. It was already out in the air. The brainwashing was already done. But deep down, the message I got from my guide is it's because the paganism. They wanted to fit in. So the only way, because, and these people have taken an oath that they are going to serve the Antichrist. And they made sure that in every congregation, there will be people who are going to the light and the other being misled. So they had to use this trick to stick it, that it can pass for generation, and subconsciously people are absorbing these messages. But it was message which was manipulated so many years ago during the Dark Age, when the crusade was extremely powerful, when the church was more vocal even than the parliament of the king. So I don't want to go deep. As I said, it will be too much, and there's some information I can't share in public, and I don't want to be criticized also. So I'll just wait for there until there. So as I said, it's gonna be 1 degree. We have this new moon in 1 degree. What will happen? What other factors are affecting this new moon? This is about your future. There is a breakthrough. You have to think outside the box, but there is a breakthrough. Mostly people who are going to be affected are going to be fixed signs and cardinal signs. Who are the fixed signs? These are the Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aqua. These are fixed signs, very highly affected. Between 0 to 6 degrees they will be affected. And then we have the cardinal. Cardinal, like I am Libra, Aries, Cancer, Gemini. We are the cardinal gang. It will mostly affect people who are almost in the cusp. That is 28 degree and 30. Of which I will say, this is your, if you're a psychic, for example, like me, this will affect me, because that is how, like, you're broadening your eye to see the future, and you're seeing what is in the back, and you're bringing it together, merging of what happened in the history in the past and what is way back front there in the future. You are bringing it together. And that is the reason also we have the stars. Aldebaran. Aldebaran is a star. It's also in Arabic, Aldebaran, which means the follower. And the star is going to be in the cardinal, in the fixed sign of Taurus, because it's also like, you know, the eye of the bull, the red spot. It's more like Mars. So, and we have Uranus there. What does it mean? It has its good side energetically, but it's also very, because we know who the bull is, very stubborn. When we have Aquarian also, it's all about rebellion. Expect to see demonstration, and I'm telling you, it will be violent demonstrations. And then we have Jupiter conjunct Saturn. Jupiter's conjuncting Saturn and the moon. in the house of Aquarius. This is beautiful. Venus is conjuncting Saturn. But there is a dance also with Jupiter somewhere. There is a dance with Jupiter. And this is very good when it comes to matters of money, but it's catch-22. It's catch-22. Because we have Venus, Saturn conjuncting, and the moon, which is new moon. Then we have Jupiter's, which will be, like swimming towards the left-hand side of Venus and Saturn, which on the south and west side, it will be just passing. And then we have Mars. Now that is where I'm telling you, this is going to be violent. We have Mars and Aldebaran. Aldebaran already has the features of Mars. It's a follower, but it's like a red, the eye of the bull, which is red. When a bull has red eye, what does it mean? Those they make in is it Mexico or Spain? And they make like rodeo like this, and the bull goes like So that's the type of energy. Like the bull is very much activated. People who are born with 0 to 6 degrees, they're going to be super on fire, especially the fixed signs. The cardinal is your psychic abilities, which is going to be like this, like you have antennas activated. It's like and with this star, the way, as I said, Aldebaran, the follower, why is this star is going to play a very big role here in our lives? Remember, it's 1 degree. It's about you. What are you following? You are a follower of what? So this star is questioning you. But then we have Mars, which we know Mars is leadership also. Mars is like Ogun, a soldier. It can bestow or destroy your kingdom. 1 degree is also what? The house of Aries. The ruler is Mars. So there is Mars, Aldebaran, and they're all near Taurus. So strong. And we have Uranus there. So Uranus is also ruling what? Aquarius, where the new moon is. So it's all about us, our finances, our innovation, our thinking outside the box. So, and our future. But it's catch-22. Why am I saying that? Jupiter-Venus conjunction is beautiful. And Venus-Saturn conjunction is beautiful. We have Jupiter also. It will conjunct, but I said it was going to be like passing from the popo, the southern past. It's just passing the popo. But the main game is Venus-Saturn here. That's what I picked, and I was told to speak about it. And Venus will be passing through the south and west of the Saturn also. We spoke about south and west and north and west. You remember? I said north and south, Rahu and Ketu, but west side, where the sun is setting. So what are you leaving behind for you to move forward to your life purpose for the future? And what are you shitting for good, which is negative? You don't need it. This is exactly what is now repeating itself again. And because of this conjunction, that's what I'm saying, it's affecting us. The reason why I was told release that information about the church, the confusion. People are always accusing the churches. They're demonic. No, this was the reason. And nobody could shed the light maybe on this. I'm not perfect and I stand to be corrected. I say that. But the way my guide said it, this is the time you need to illuminate it. The moon is coming near. When the moon, we always know the moon gets the sun, the light from the sun. So when the moon is clear near the earth, and it's a new moon at 1 degree, it means what? We are illuminating this problem. So people personally now can also view it and think outside the box. And that will give you a new change for your future. When we have now Venus conjunct Saturn, Saturn rule Capricorn. Capricorn is our hierarchy. The Hierophant, isn't that a priest? Isn't that, like religious leader, organizations and all that? What does it mean? Venus is always about luxury. It's always about fertility. Because when we lack Venus, when we lack Oshun energy, it's disaster. Everything goes dead. So now when it conjuncts Saturn, it means, and there is Jupiter, which is expanding this knowledge. And the Earth, as I said, the moon has come closer. 992 years ago. We have never experienced this. We are experiencing it now. So it's like a whole new world. And I did say there will be a new world order because now everything has shifted to the dawn of Aquarius. We're already in the dawn of Aquarius. It takes time, yeah. It's not going to happen overnight. These things are happening. Mercury has gone direct on 18th. When you add 18th, it comes to 9. You see, another completion. So Mercury has come forward with a new beginning, like a new chapter is opening up in your life. What are you planning for your future that you have learned from your past? What is your life purpose? What are you thinking outside the box? What are you rebelling and opposing? What is good for you that you want to move forward with? Then take it with the Venus conjunct Saturn energy. But with the Jupiter now passing behind at the purple, at the southern, what do you want Jupiter to expand and take it out so that it can push forward like a rocket taking off, give you that energy, like expansion energy, because Jupiter comes with always big energy. So it will push you forward to move up, but you will have to excrete something just like a rocket. Take a good example of a rocket. Here is Venus and here is Saturn. Okay, we are conjuncting and we have the moon. Mars is here near Taurus. And then we have Aldebaran and Orion. I'll speak about Orion also. Orion is facing Taurus. And when you look at the Orion constellation, you will always find it all over the world, near the equators. It's like the stars are surrounding the face of Aquarius. So what is your future? Venus, remember, rules also Taurus. And that is our banks, our finances. And we've spoken about recession and everything. Do we have a remedy for the problem we are about to have? Yes and no, which means recession. And remember, the dark ages is the same as also the time of the Great Depression. And we're already feeling it. Things are expensive, but there is no much increment of money. There's a lot of fluctuation in the markets. The GDP is not stable and all that, which is normal. With the inflation is kicks in, recession starts, and we might sink into what? The Great Depression. And I've been predicting it since last year. But we are given an opportunity now to think outside the box, whereby if you want, you need a lot of force. Taking off, you have always seen when a rocket wants to take off, there is a lot of excretion of energy for it to fly. So Jupiter, the good news is it's down here at the southern side. It will push you, but it wants you to drop the dead weight. That's why it's passing on the southern western. You have to drop the dead weight for it to pump you up to go. And the thing is, it's not going to be exactly how you want it. And that's why we have Mars and this Orion, Aldebaran at Taurus here. The stars are dancing on the face. But what does that mean? And the Aldebaran is the red eye here. And then we have Mars. There will be conflict of interest, conflict of changing how you work, innovation. You will have to be smart for you to survive this. You can't, let's say you are working 9 to 5, just stick to 9 to 5, because something can happen. You can be laid off with the energy of Uranus in Taurus and the conjunction of Venus and Saturn. This can be quick layoff. Maybe the company cannot afford to pay you. Taurus, which is money, banks, finances. Okay, currencies can drop and lose value. So it will be a big problem to keep people at work in the same way. So what do you have to do? Maybe people will start working less hours and get paid less. But now you have to think outside the box. What plan B do I have for me to make money for the future? 1. 2, for people who are like dealing in stocks, let's say, because we have to talk about money. We have Venus conjuncting Saturn. Saturn, remember, is a sign of restriction, the ring. And you can't cut shortcut with Saturn. There are lessons to learn. What can I do when everything is falling? No, everything has to fall for it to rebuild. Just like the way I'm telling you. This crusade had to split for them to rebuild and then come back and reassemble themselves after the success of destroying the paganism in their era. So this is what is happening now. Something has to be destroyed for it to rebuild. Or even if you are innovating something, you will have to think outside the box. As I said, you are working 9 to 5. Now you'll have to look maybe for a plan B. What else can you do? Use your hobby to generate money. Use your hobby to generate money. I will give you an example. As simple as, because Aquarian also rules a lot of things with technology. So you can do something online. Just open like a page and do vlogs. Just that. Because remember, I said Aldebaran is followers. And you have Jupiter ready to push you. And Saturn, restriction, plus Venus, your money. And then you have the stars on the face of the bull, which is Orion, the Orion constellation. The Orion is near there. So what will happen? You will be seen. If you are hidden for so long, this is the time you will be so surprised. A group, because this is also a part of it, new group or team will come up and it will be a whole game plan that is changed. Whatever you are doing, you just need to add something more flavor, and you will go viral. Because I'm telling you, Aldebaran, and when it is under with this Taurus, which is a fixed star, and there's a conjunction of Venus and Saturn. Saturn is protocols. Venus rules Taurus. So the stars are on the face. You are heading to stardom. If you break the norm, because Aquarius is always, you will have to go against the grain. You will have to go against the energy. But I'm not telling you to go and become a thief. There is a Uranus waiting for you there. It will clash you. You have to do things the right way, because for you to make money, remember, Venus conjunct Saturn. Saturn is all about protocol, the Hierophant. You have to go step by step by step. You can't jump from 1 to 4. Not with Saturn. It will blast you back and go 3 years in jail. Until the next transit, it goes to another zodiac, then it will free you. Have you learned the lesson? Yeah. Not back 3 years again. That's how Saturn is. Very good planet to teach you a lesson and growth, but a nasty punisher. It will just punish you until the next transit. Then you come and visit me. If let's say I'm now in Gemini, until when I go to Cancer, that's when you come back here. And I will question, did you learn your lesson? Yeah. Not yet? You've not learned? No. Back 3 years until I move to Leo. Then you can come back and I will question you. Until the lesson is learned, will keep on repeating itself. So there is no way we can break the protocol. Things, if you want to succeed, you will have to do things the right way. It's the only way out. Otherwise, all I'm seeing is destruction. This bull is carrying the energy of Venus. Remember, it's the ruler, Taurus. And Uranus is there. Unexpected events. It's transiting there. Normally, it transits 7 years in one sign. And we have Uranus right now in Taurus. Remember, Uranus is ruling who? Aquarius. And with that, we have a new moon at 1 degree, which is all about you. So imagine the rulers at the new moon's there is manifesting something about you, and its ruler is transiting Venus, baby, who is a Taurus, and conjuncting Saturn. So you will be forced to do things the right way. Failure to do so, Mars, Aldebaran, Uranus will crash everything. So you're going to see people who have been doing things the wrong way. They might lose everything. Instant poverty. Just overnight. Someone can lose wealth online. It disappears and you never see it. Fire can break in because Uranus is something like uncontrollable event, but it's a natural disaster. You can't escape. You can even have someone like has signed a contract right now. The next minute or the next day, this person is gone. And maybe it's an investment, let's say 10 billion. But this person is no more. And maybe this is the main key player. So you cannot continue and everything dies. Or something will happen, the money can disappear and you're gone. That's how bad this energy is if you break the law. But if you want to penetrate, you will have to do things the right way. There is a blessing and there is a disaster. So I will say, use the positive side of it. Let Aldebaran help you. Let Orion help you. Let Jupiter help you. And this conjunction, Venus and Saturn. Remember, Venus and Saturn, they will always cope. The reason why, because Saturn is always exalted in Libra. Even when Saturn is shit in other planets, which it always does, because it's very arrogant. But when it comes to Libra, because of the scales, it behaves. It comes back and brings justice. Because if you just tip the scale, Libra beats it back. It comes back to normal. Same with Venus when it is in Taurus. But in Taurus, it is very strict as an earth sign because they're both earth. But with Libra, because it exalts itself. That's the only planet that Saturn feels home. And it exalts itself like, like I can remove my shoes and I can feel comfortable, lay down. It can only do that in the sign of Libra because it exalts itself. But in the other planets, it's very harsh. So I will say, use that information wisely to build yourself. I wish I could go deeper, but I know we will talk until it will we'll just go crazy. Now, why is Aldebaran called the planet of followers? Because this in mythology and every other planet, they're saying that the word the follower, Aldebaran in Arabic, it's the follower because this is the sign, the star that follows the 7 sisters, if you know the story of the 7 sisters in heaven, and the Pleiades. Yep. It's the followers of the Pleiades. Do you remember I said we are going to have portals opening and there are energies which are not aliens, we can say similar, but they're not aliens and they're not going to come and you will see them. They're projecting energies. This is what is happening. It will be happening through Aldebaran and the constellation of Orions. Orions can be seen worldwide through the equator. It's like a belt. So this is the projection they are going to be. Pay attention if I have scientists here, Team NASA, SpaceX, and the rest. Go and check it. When the new moon happens, it will happen, let's say, check it around 14 degrees. Yeah, around 14 degrees in, wait, I wrote it here because I was shown and I was interested. I say, I wish I had this. I could see it. Yeah, it will be visible 30 minutes after sunset and at 14 degrees. Check it above the horizon. 14 degrees above the horizon, 30 minutes after sunset, you will see this. You will see it. And if you're a person who also has this, you know, telescope and everything, visible, very visible, but 30 minutes after sunset and 14 degrees, you will see it above the horizon. These are they're going to appear. Even you will see even this conjunction, Jupiter, Saturn, and mostly on the northern hemisphere, you will see it, northern hemisphere. But it's going to be, as I said, northwest. The other one is going to be in the southwest. And mostly the planet you will see, which is on the southern side, yeah, it will be the Jupiter. As I said, it will be rubbing the popo of Saturn and Venus. It will be passing through Venus. So it will be rubbing the popo of Venus. So check on the southern side, you'll find it. You can later then inform us more, team NASA SpaceX science team. You can then post more videos or articles and say it. But check it out. You will find it there. 14 degrees, 30 minutes above sunset, after sunset, above horizon, 14 degrees. You will see it, mostly northern. And then we have the also, as I said, this Orion. They call Hydes in the where the stars are going to be here. So either this is the most funny part. Either your finances are going to turn you into a star, or your finances are going to turn stars on your head. You know, like the way you see cartoons and birds flying, stars. That's what I'm saying. You can lose easily money and you can gain if you do it the right way. It's not gonna be overnight, of course. If you do the process, you put the work. Be innovative. Think of ideas outside the box. Things will move forward. Rebellious group like LGBTQ, you will see them now that they want to become vocal. They will start to ask more for rights. They will ask more for rights. But with the Venus conjunct Saturn, there will be clashes here because Saturn is restriction. Saturn doesn't want people to break the rules. But Aquarian is rebellion. So we will see, that's what I'm saying, we will see a lot of strikes, demonstration, and they're going to be turning violent. Because also the bull, Mars is near the stars, near Taurus. So it's projecting that energy. And the fact that the Aldebaran we know is the red eye. It's going to be the eye of the bull. So, and you know how the bull is. Wall Street, something very major will happen. Check your servers, keep your backup. Something will crash when you least expect it. So Wall Street, because you have that sign of the bull, it's the energy which is embodied in as an object. It will definitely affect you. Definitely. But I'm warning you in advance and I'm giving you this as a tip. Please make sure you have backups. Make sure you have backups because something significant will happen in financial institution and it's going to be abrupt, very fast. There can also be a bank robbery or a bank heist that will be a heist of the century because whatever will happen, if these people are too smart, and it can be online because of the Aquarian energy. And this is not, it's like personal people are going to be affected. So targeted people, wealthy people, because we have Venus and Taurus rules banks. So banks, like money, crypto and everything, be very careful. And in case something was stolen, it can be easily illuminated, like found. They will find the trace and it will be pulled back. And there's nothing small here. With Jupiter under, I'm telling you, it's like a rocket. Everything will be big. If it's a loss, it will be a big loss. If it is a big gain, it will be a big gain. If it's a recovery, it will be a big recovery. Anything which is a scientific breakthrough, it will go. If you're trying to do something very innovative, it's bingo. If you're going to do it the right way, 2 thumbs up. You are on the right track. Because I'm telling you, this was the time, just like I've told you, the Vikings broke into Britain and they slashed people and they won. They took over the whole area. It was in this time. And that's the reason I was told, keep the message until like yesterday. I had to shout it out, send it out because of this energy. 992 years ago, 992 years ago. So this is the energy which is right now here. And that's why the secret is now ready to be out, illuminated, because we have reached, as I said, number 9 is always the highest peak. And then after that, 10 is just an amplified number, 1 which is amplified with a 0. But the highest peak of manifestation is 9. And we are in the 992 years ago. So something which was done back then, people didn't know what really happened. Secrets which were buried, they're coming back. Ancient knowledge, a lot of, like right now, even me, I get a lot of ancient knowledge, a lot of ancient medication. I'm writing down, like I did say, I've got some medication about the STDs and some test remedies and everything. I just jot them down because I know there's no way I can, it's like I feel stuck. I don't know what to do with all this shit also behind my back. It's too much. So I'm just taking myself slowly. But with this conjunction here, with the planets, the planets are aligned for innovation. Like if I'm to start something right now, if I put my intention and start to work on this project where I want to do this, the remedies I was given for the STDs, and I can try to work on them with these ancient remedies and combine them to turn them into modern, with the modern science, and turn them into real medication. This is the planet alignment that it will be a success. Same with Uranus is what? Frequencies. The medication with frequencies, healing people through frequencies. The secret which I was given, and that's why I'm saying I'm not even sharing it, because the one who tried to steal my work thought they got away with everything. They don't know the secret remedy. That was just an example. But the secret content now, if you combine the secret content and there's a secret therapy, the way they have given me to build this whole, it's going to be like, when you have cancer, for example, I suffered cancer. You go through stages, like there's a cycle. Every 3 weeks you go for chemo, but before chemo, first you have to do this, there are injections and that, then you step into the chemo and you do the chemo. So it is that type of protocol. There is the therapy with the frequencies, but there is diet also, and there is time interval. So these are the things that I'm not sharing because they're stealing my work like there's no tomorrow. So I keep it to myself, but should I put the energy right now? And the good thing is the conjunction is also leaning on me, and it's going to affect me on both sides. Because I have, in the fixed signs, we have Scorpio, 0 to 6 degrees, which are going to be affected. My Venus ruler is also in the 2nd house. And in my 1st house, my Venus is in the first 6 degrees. So my ruler is in the first 6 degrees, but it also rules my 2nd house. It's also, in my 2nd house, which is also going to be affected. So all my houses are affected. It's like Libra is going to be affected in my cardinal, and my fixed is going to be affected also because of my Scorpio, where Venus is also staying there. Here, the only thing is the cardinal part of my sign this time will be affected on the psychic. So it's like the 3rd eye is going to be more, and I know migraine is in store. Migraine is in store. I don't have migraines, but I will get it. It hits like migraine. It's because of the expansion of the 3rd eye. It will expand and there will be more download. That's why I'm saying I feel like I'm jammed sometimes. I have so much to do and I have no one to trust and work with. That's how bad my situation is. Like, I can't just throw my work like before here. I've been totally abused, until my guides were like, no, not anymore. Wait for the right person. That's why I have this. Manifest, manifest, manifest. When the right person appears, you will team up, you will see. Every link will open up. But you are giving your knowledge and time and energy away to the wrong people who don't even know the value of your work. And that's the reason I'm just now I don't do much, but yesterday I was forced to do it because of this. Something which has happened almost 1,000 years ago. And it went as back as 2030. So that's an old age. Very old time. We are in 2023 now. Back in the 1030. And until now. So it's deeper than what we think. Don't ignore this time. Use it. But I'm telling you, this can be the beginning of, this can be a downfall of someone can go bankruptcy, people, families, or whatever. This can be the downfall, which is just sweeping you 1 degree, or this is the time you're going to be shining like a star. The hate is on the face. You being the bull, you are strong, and you have followers, people who will support what you do. You will see, as long as you just stay with this conjunction, Venus conjunct Saturn, it will help you, because these two planets, I'm telling you, they love each other, because this bully exalts itself in Libra, which is the rule of, it's being ruled by Venus. So use this to make the best for you. But the moment you try to play dirty, it will just blast, of which you will see many stars, celebrities. People are going to be declaring themselves bankrupt. And it's for real. They can't manipulate this energy because of the planetary aspects. People will declare themselves bankrupt. Wall Street, open your eyes. Banks, open your eyes. Tech companies, you're going to see things happening. But science, you have a breakthrough. Anything scientific, you will be surprised. Things are going to come out like this. I'm telling you, like right now, I've gotten some things for me, like medication and everything. And remember, Aquarius is about the future. So don't think about short term. Manifest now. It might take even 2 years from now to get this right. But put the intention and move with the energy. As I said, Aldebaran is there, the follower. It will follow you. And it doesn't come alone. It carries the energy with other planets. So the Pleiadian will follow you. You have, it's like you have a night vision. So you can penetrate if you know how to follow this energy. But if you're a person who has karma, I would say be careful. This is not for you. This will work against you. That 1 degree will be rebellious to you. But if you're the person who really persevered so much, this 1 degree is going to work on you, the new moon. Just manifest. Manifest, manifest. And we will also see rebellion against, people will be rebellious, either to mothers, because the moon is mother, new moon. So maybe a mother or a female will want to introduce new rules. And they will face rebellion first, but trust me, they're going to win because of Saturn. I told you, Saturn is like, all right, baby. All right, Venus. Okay, you're a woman. I'll let you do it. But as long as it's something good. But if it's something nasty, Saturn doesn't care. X out. So people who have big mouth at work, if you're a person who gossips or creates problems at work, especially women, this is the time you will be fired with immediate effect, and even given half salary maybe to go away. That's how bad this thing is. If you've accumulated bad karma. And as I said, there will also be a lot of endings. Since we have the southern side, Jupiter getting rid of people, so you will see mass numbers of people, activities leaving you. If you have gone through a disease for some time, but you have been praying and everything, it will be flashing out. But if you are the type of a person who makes people sick, harm people, this is manifesting now. It's coming towards you. Be very careful with what you do. So I think that's enough about the church. I don't want to talk much about it. The other information is very sensitive. I'll keep it until maybe the day I will find the right people to talk with, and I will talk about them. I have so many look, so many things written here everywhere. Songs. I have a whole album here. I write songs also. That's what I'm telling you. Whoever comes in, they give me. If it's music industry, okay. If it's science, we do science. If it's this, philosophy, history, blah, blah, blah. Jack of all trades. We all do, but it's all stagnant here. Because I have not the right people to work with. I can't trust anybody. Tech is shit for me. So that's why my guys are like, yeah, I know it's giving me a lot of anxiety, because when you have so much to share, but you have even nobody to talk to or to give them or help you. So it's money, but at a stalemate. Last but not least, I'm going to ask my last question. You know who you are, the team of people who are here. You have seen in the cards earlier, someone stole my money because they tried to use me. My time is now asking you, because this conjunction also talks about inheritance. To those who are entitled and have my bag, this is one of, that's why I kept it so last in the end. My question is, it's about time for me to receive what's mine. Venus conjunct Saturn. You all know my father, my real father, is a Capricorn, and he's died and left me inheritance, and someone tries to steal it. So the ones who are in charge and know about it, this is the time I'm asking you. My father is conjuncting me. And it's time. It's like tech. As I say, Venus is also exalted. That's why I had a very special bond with my father. And since he passed away to death, I can't heal from it, because, as I said, I was a spoiled brat. I was a daddy's girl. Everywhere with him. And even until now, it's still, memories are still there. It comes, it hits me, and it goes away. And especially if there is something massive which is happening. Like right now, I know there's a lot of changes which are happening, and they're broadening and deepening more of spirituality and new information. And they're taking me to more new realms, opening the third eye more. Psychic abilities are becoming more stronger. But at the same time, I also get like exhausted, especially in the mornings, because I don't sleep well at night, but in the morning is the time I sleep. So I feel like my head is also very heavy, because there is so much content, but less activity, less movement. I don't think we need cards, but I've talked for so long, almost 1.5 hours, 1 hour 23 minutes. I think that's enough. The most important message was that get to know what you have to do. It's past life. It's your past and your future now. And we are at the present. What is your option? Are you going to fix yourself, move forward, or you're going to destroy yourself? Nobody's to be blamed but yourself. We had 1 degree last time in Capricorn. Now it's 1 degree in Aquarius. It's all about you. But this time, it's about the future. Remember, Pluto is still lingering. It's just there. That's what I'm telling you. It's either you make it or destroy yourself completely. Somebody can even lose, like if you have a legacy, a company that's been running for many years. I'm not going to say that it's going to happen to them. For example, Nestle, we know the products for so long. Johnson & Johnson, very famous products. They have been going for ages. For example, such companies can just disappear and lose their legacy with this conjunction. destruction at its highest point, that you will never be able to stand on your 2 feet. As I said, the invention of the Vikings in Britain and North America, the time this energy was active. So the same thing can happen. Something can come to you, wipe you clean, and it will never come back, because Pluto is a destructor. It will never come back, and the planets are aligned. So be very careful. Don't destroy yourself, and it's about you. Don't be a groupie. It's about you. But it's also the good time you will find your soul group, soul tribe. People who think also outside the box like you, and you're going to be making a lot, and you'll be heading to stardom. Everybody will have a life purpose on their own, but you're becoming like a family, and you're heading to your stardom, all of you. So make sure you choose wisely who you want to work with or who you're dealing with, because energies are contagious. You are who you're around with. Whatever you do, whoever you hang out with, it can build you or destroy you. So choose wisely, please. Get to know who you work with, get to know the environment, the people around them. You can be a friend of a friend, but the enemy is just behind you. That friend of a friend maybe is your enemy and you don't know it. So get to know the people around you and choose wisely. Make right decision. Last but not least, as I said, Venus conjunct Saturn. Avinu Malkeinu, the holders of my bag. It's time. My father is shaking my hand. So give me my dinero. It's time for you to pay me now. The time has reached. I've crossed the path of 40, which was the target. I'm already 41 now. So it's time for me to receive, including what I've accumulated. Those who are holding my bag, it's about time, because this is the time I need also those who are really going to be serious to work with me. There is something that I want to start. The leg of 7. That's the project I'm calling it. The legs of 7. 7 things. And I want to build it. So, of course, I need finances. And I need a team. Don't hold my bag. I need it. And I'm relying on 2 people to come forward. Like I said, I hope the real rabbi, not the handler here. The handler is very vindictive, very manipulative. The real rabbi to start. There's a project we need to do. I'm not going to talk much, but I think you got the hints. I've already said it. The therapy, and listen to the Rosh Hashanah and what I've said about science. You'll put them together and you'll understand what I'm trying to talk. You're good at decoding. You'll know what I mean. Okay? And when it comes to the Islamic world, I know what I'm going to do, but I don't want to say much, because today, the main reason why I was told to do this new moon is mostly connected to these energies which are happening and what I shared out yesterday. So, and I said, in case I offended any faith yesterday, we are all Abrahamic followers, Abrahamic religion followers. But should I have, in case I said anything and I offended any leader, I stand to be corrected. I'm not perfect, but I apologize in advance. I even wrote it. Like, I'm not a person who is going to debate. When someone has better knowledge, I can take it and learn from them. But I'm not going to say I'm always the perfect one and I'm always right. No. I always like when people challenge me and even share more information. Maybe I just give a little, maybe there is deeper things that even the churches know. And when we share, and you can find out, like we can find everything. For example, yesterday I showed you that in Genesis, in Quran, Surah Al-Hijr, and also in Torah, it's all the same. The whole concept is the same. So do you see? That's what I'm telling you. It's only that because of geographical geographical locations and the time lapse, the prophets came. But the message is just the same. If you look at it, the messages are just the same. So but people have been judging me so harshly, like, oh, she's Jinn Yahudi, she's Murtad, she's this, she's that. It hurts me a lot, yes. But only God knows my intention. Not anybody here. Only God knows my intention. Okay. The only thing now, maybe I can quickly pull is verses. Just 1 minute. So I'll just quickly pull the verses and we'll see how it goes with this energy of new moon, and we'll see how, if it reciprocates or not. Okay. We have Surah to the criteria, and that is Surah Al-Furqan. Criterion, you know what it means. It's like criteria. Are you, and this is exactly this new moon what is all about. Are you qualified? Like I gave an example last time when we got these verses. Are you qualified for this job? Like you are out there going for an interview and your boss is asking you a question. Okay, let's say you are going for an interview, you want to cook, you want to become a cook, and the boss is asking you, do you know, tell me 4 spices that you know in the kitchen, and how long will you take to prepare this meal, for example, and such kinds of questions you'll be asked. And if you're really a cook and you have experience pertaining the questions which you're going to be asked, you'll be answering very well and you might end up with the job. But if you're not qualified, your qualifications are not void, are not perfect, then that is void. You're going to lose the job, definitely. So this is the time where you're going to be, we are in the criterion, we are being tested. That's what I'm telling you. The conjunction of the new moon, what your mother has prayed during the full moon from the tree of life, our ancestors' maternal side, this new moon is like a rebirth, but a rebirth of blessings or a rebirth now of destruction, a curse. So this is where we are going to be tested. We have 3, 5, 9, which is 12 and 5 is 17. Which is 8. Oh. 12, 5, 9. I mean 2, 3, 5, 9. It's 17, which is coming to 8. And that's exactly what is happening. Death. We are going through a rebirth. But the rebirth is, are we coming to become better? Or is it the end of us? So you will have to know. Is it the end of us or the beginning? And then we have 19, which you combine it, it comes to 10. And of course we have Saturn, 10. We have 9, which is also, we had 17, which comes to 8, and that is scorpionic energy, and we have it in Mars. I told you, Mars is going to be very near to Taurus. Very near to Taurus. So what does that mean? As I said, it can be a rebirth or a death, which is completely death. And you all know that Scorpio is the underworld. Yeah? And Jupiter, who is Jupiter? If you look at the mythology of the Greek mythology, if I'm not wrong, yep, Greek mythology, it's Zeus. Zeus, that is the same as Jupiter. That is the lord of hunting. When he died, his father sent him down and in the underworld, and he became the lord of hunting. So what are we hunting? Are we hunting our blessings or the blessings they are going to be hunted and taken away from us. So those are the things you have to consider. But we have 8 here, which is scorpionic energy, definitely transformation or a death, permanent ending. Something is going to be ending in your life. As I said, there is Pluto, remember, still lingering there. Whatever will go out is gone. Whatever will be excreted, it has to go. Take the new beginnings, but you have to follow the right protocols. But for the others, this is the beginning of a destruction, especially if you have been very destructive or you come from a lineage you know which is very karmic. The new moon, that is the tree of life from your mama, that is the womb, the tree of life in you has manifested, but it's coming with nothing good. Destruction, poverty, diseases, and such things. 10, as we all know, that is Saturn energy, and the Hierophant or the devil. The Hierophant, that's why we also spoke about the church. The Hierophant, the protocols. Or you're going to follow the devil and sell your soul, whereby we will see that happening. People will be crashing, people who have sold their soul. A lot of things which are hidden in the occult are going to come out. People will be turning away. But for others, those who are going to join, they're going to be selling their life for good. But those who are like there, they're going to be enlightened. And even though it's going to be hard for you, it might take a lot of time. Because once you sell your soul, it's hard to get it back. But a lot of secrets about occult will be coming out. And especially people who have been camouflaging themselves using religion, this is the time they are going to be exposed. As I said, those people who are playing devil's advocate in the churches, and they were caught by the Crusades and they were slashed. And cities and villages which were also conquered until the whole Britain was conquered by the Vikings. And even in North America, it was this was the real energy. So you see, it was death, destruction happened, and then there was a transformation whereby now the churches stepped in to take over and paganism was put on the side. But still, they had this devil advocates who are camouflaging themselves through the church, but still doing their paganism stuff. 10, the Hierophant. So they were caught for some of them. You either do it the Hierophant way, right way, or destruction. Okay, for the other number, I'm getting 11, and 11 is if I look at it, 11th house, that's the vibration of Aquarius, second last house. Yeah. So yeah, it's aligned. And then the verse starts at 63, the criterion, Suratul Furqan, verse 63, which is a 9. And you have seen now 992 years ago. Do you see now how this end? All of this is coming together. I'm not making it up. I'm getting it. I confirm in the internet. I come and tell you. And when I open the Quran, another confirmation comes in. So that shows you I don't get my messages from any dark entity. Even though I've been getting a lot of backlashes for being very open-minded and giving messages with all these things. And the Quran, still I was being seen as a very demonic person. And the one who was really demonic was the one being praised to be the right one. But time will tell. Everything is still coming to open. More secrets are going to be revealed about whom real Mima is and who the fake one is. So, verse 69, Suratul Furqan, aka the Criterion. It says, "And the servants of Allah most gracious are those who walk on earth in humility, and when the ignorant address them, they say peace. Salam, shalom." So do you see? And the servants of Allah. Remember, I was telling you, Christianity came first, and then the last prophet, which was Prophet Muhammad, that's when Islam was born. So, but this message I got, it was about the crusade and the dark age. And here, didn't I say they were traveling everywhere, trying to speak with the name of God and bringing peace, because people were living with intimidation from the witches who are torturing others who are not following them. So this verse already confirms and summarizes the whole story. It says, "And the servants of Allah most gracious are those who walk on the earth in humility, And when the ignorant address them, they say peace. Those who spend the night in adoration of their lords prostrate and standing. Those who say, Our Lord, avert from us the wrath of hell, for its wrath is indeed an affliction grievous. Evil indeed is it as an abode and as a place to the resting. Those who, when they spend, are not extravagant and not niggardly, but hold a just balance between those extremes. And I did say, what did I say here? Venus is Saturn is exalted in Venus. The scales have to be balanced. You have to follow the protocol. If you try to be extravagant and tip the scale like this, boop, justice comes back. So this is exactly what it happens. And it is saying that here. Those who spend when they are not extravagant and not niggardly, but hold a just balance. What is a just balance? Libra, the scale. Between those extremes. Those who invoke not with Allah any other God, nor slay such life as Allah has made sacred, except for just cause, nor commit fornication, and any that does this not only meet punishment. Do not associate God with anything. What were the Crusades doing? They were attacking those pagans because they were calling them to the word of God. And they were only allowed to punish people and slay them because of that. And they were told, do not commit fornication. This was also one thing which was told. The religion, Christianity, was also among one of the religion also telling people, do not perform fornication. Back then, even the Christians in the old times and all other religions, women were not, it's a culture. Women were not supposed to marry. They're not supposed to have sex until when they get married. And that's, we have it here. Nor commit fornication, and any that does this not only meet punishment. So I'm reading it again. Those who invoke not with Allah any other God, nor slay such life as Allah has made sacred, except for just cause, nor commit fornication, and any that does this not only meet punishment. But the chastisement on the day of judgment will be doubled to him, and he will dwell therein in ignominy. Unless he repents, believes, and works righteous deeds, for Allah will change the evil of such person into good, and Allah is oft forgiving and most merciful. And this is what I was telling people. You know you've done something wrong. You have to acknowledge it yourself. The first degree, it's all about you. Acknowledge your mistake. You know the process of repentance, and then abstain from that problem. Then sit and pray to God. You never know. So long as you're breathing, the doors are always open for repentance. And whoever repents and does good has truly turned to Allah in repentance. Those who witness no falsehood, and if they pass by futility, they pass by it with honorable avoidance. Those who, when they are admonished with the signs of their Lord, drop not down at them as if they were deaf or blind. And those who pray, Our Lord, grant unto us wives and offsprings, who will be comfort of our eyes and give us the grace to lead the righteous. Those are the ones who will be rewarded with the highest place in heaven. Because of the patient constancy, therein shall they be met with salutations and peace, dwelling therein. How beautiful an abode and place of rest. Say the rejectors, My Lord will not concern himself with you, but for your call on him. But you have indeed rejected him, and soon will come the inevitable punishment. So it's ending there, and then after that we have the Surah Al-Shu'ara, which is the poets. But I'm not going to read that. The message was just for this. So do you see the entire astrology, the entire ancient information I was given through download? I confirmed it. I shared it with you. And how I opened the Quran right in front of all of you. And look at the verses. This is not a Bible. It's a Quran. But the theme I was given was about Christianity, the secret of why the original sin of that. The Old Testament, where it says bread and drink, break the bread to eat and drink the wine, to fill yourself as brothers and sisters, to get, move on with life. But the New Testament, and this is between Mark and John, the New Testament changed the whole story, and it turned it like he was ordering people to like cannibals. It was a way to cover up their propagandas, but they use religion, camouflaging religion to cover up their dirty paganism practices. And that's why the verse was saying, eat the bread like my flesh and drink the wine like my blood. Isn't blood illegal to drink for all religions? How come a prophet will tell you drink it like blood? So that already logically you can even make it up, like put one on one and you'll understand it. The reason was because of this, and that's why most people accuse the churches. Why is it so demonic in the church? And I'm addressing only this problem. I don't want to go deep how you worship. No. That's lakum dinukum waliyadin. Everybody has a religion to follow. So long as you channel to the one God, it's up to you. But the reason behind that original sin, because that question was so deep and intense, and they knew it was going to come because my guides were already preparing me to share this information because of this celestial event. I always tell you, they give me way information in advance to prepare me for what's coming. That's the reason I was told. They want to know the answer? This is the answer. That the thing is, the biggest problem, it started way back. It's not your fault. It's the fault of those who changed the testament. And it ended up misleading the congregation. But this was purposely done because the group of paganism who are promised to be antichrist, that they will create a religion inside a religion which will be misleading and taking the whole congregation astray without them knowing subconsciously. So this is the reason. And I think you have seen the verses yourself. This has confirmed. I will snap them and send them to you. So that's all I had to say. And until then, bye.